All right, guys, what's up? We're back. Another day of vapor blasting here today, and we have another set of EX400 or 400EX engine cases. And I just pulled them out of the shipper container that they came in, and this is how they were sent in. So this is before first thing I'm gonna do is degrease them. I'll take some pictures of this. Here I'm just taking a video. This is exactly how it came out of the box. So you can see there's a lot of grease, oil, all cooked on here. You know, I'm sure actually if this was power washed, it would come out cleaner than this, but we do get a lot of parts that come in this dirty and oily. So we do have a parts washer, a few methods of cleaning, but this one is going to go in a parts washer. Again, it's a good idea if you were to rebuild this. Let's say you didn't feel like spending the money to get it vapor blasted. You should at least be cleaning them with a parts washer, because look at this oil in here. Obviously contaminated. An oil change is not going to fix that. So, and again, it wants to look over. I don't know. Make sure this is noted. These broken studs here. All right, we got one broken stud here. Yeah, we're just going to give a quick look over before this goes into the parts washer. I'm using a couple detergents mixed in there that are all safe for aluminum. It's heated up to about 130 degrees, which is enough to help cook off some of this baked on grease. You can just put this in the vapor blaster, obviously, and just try to blast this off, but you would, with one set of parts like this, contaminate your whole vapor blast machine, and then when you're going to do your next set of parts, you're working with really dirty water. Your window's going to be all dirty, greasy. You're not going to be able to see well, and then you're just blasting other parts that are, see, these are starting out pretty clean. You don't want to blast those clean parts with some dirty water. So anything like this, unless it's already real clean, goes into a parts washer before we vapor blast it. It does add, this is why I usually quote everything separate, rather than have a set price for most parts. I do like to see a picture. In this case, it would be, you know, slightly more. It takes more time. I don't charge much to parts wash these things because I'm doing other things while this is soaking. I have another couple, one customer sent in a starter that's going to get, you know, prepped, sealed up, and vapor blasted. Another set of 3 carburetors. These go to a KH400, I believe. I actually vapor blasted one of those engines in maybe my previous 2 videos. This is to a different bike, but same engine. So it's 3 carburetors. It looks like one of these bowls are brand new. Maybe this was just replaced. Maybe it was vapor honed. Most likely a brand new. But you'll see, at least now it'll match, you know, the rest of it. And these are some old Mikuni. I think they're Mikuni carbs. Yes. And then finally we have a bag of spare nuts and bolts. And I'll show you how I get these done quick. I'm not gonna, obviously, it's so hard to hold these one by one with a glove, you know, the thick glove that's in the cabinet. So I do have a way that helps if anyone else is vapor blasting and you wanna do a random set of nuts and bolts like this. I'll show you the way that I get those done. Because again, I don't like to charge any ridiculous amount of money. I think it would get crazy if you were doing these, you know, one by one. It would take you forever. It would probably take you longer to clean this little bag of nuts and bolts than it would be to maybe blast this, or, you know, maybe the same. Plus you could risk, you know, losing one, dropping in a tank if you're holding it one by one. So anyway, yeah, back to this. I'm gonna get this dropped in the parts washer. I'm gonna get all my other stuff done first, so that will give it a couple hours of it soaking, and then we'll get this going today and have it shipped out by the end of the day today. Again, we will if you need us to, but we don't typically strip the gasket material. That's something that we usually ask to have done before, if you even care. But vapor blasting does not strip off your gaskets. That's something that we got to do by hand. So again, if you're trying to reduce the cost as much as possible, and that's something you could do at home, then we recommend doing that at home. So all right, I'll check back in after we get these things out. Maybe I'll show some blasting of these carbs, and we'll get to it. Okay, so here we have all 3 sets of the carburetors. I'm getting them ready to go into the vapor blast machine. These do not need to be parts cleaned before they go in there. They're dry and clean the way they are. As you can see, this is, you know, almost acceptable as like a clean carb ready to get reassembled, except when you open up the, I guess, what is this, where the float bowl is, and you can see there's just crumbs and bits in there, and I always like to clean that out. Yeah, this one here shows it pretty good. It's real hard to clean that by hand, so I always offer that. Just, you know, I ask that crack these screws loose. I don't want to be hitting these with an impact driver trying to get them off, but I always keep them with the corresponding parts so they stay together. I'll only do one at a time, fully dry, clean it, put it back together the way it came in before I start the next one. I don't want to mix match anything here, so I'm gonna get started with these. Here's one quick thing. If you do send me, these are just 2 of the 4 bolts, so these had half the bolts holding in the float. If they are sent in, I assume they should be clean, so I put them back in here as, you know, a place to hold them, so that the heads of these screws will get blasted and cleaned along with everything else. So getting ready, we'll put these in here now. All right, so we got the first carburetor done. And I did pull this cap off just to clean. It looks like it's missing the, I'll explain why. I usually would keep the cap on and not blast, you know, where the slide goes. I know that's it's either usually real smooth or it's machined perfectly for the slide to slide as smooth as it can. So anyway, don't blast in there. But it's missing this gasket, so this is sitting lower than it usually would, and I don't want you to be able to, when you install the gasket, be able to see, you know, the dirty clean line. So I actually pulled it off and you know, cleaned up those threads and went up a little higher on that cleaning surface there, or that carb surface. But yeah, quick side-by-side look. That's the difference there. And again, these were quick and easy. They went right into the polisher. They're already, this is, you know, this looked clean to me before I put it in there. But yeah, you can see this. No filters here, side by side. It cleans the brass up really nice. I don't blast in the, you know, where the valve seats for the gas inlet. I don't blast in there. Screw heads, we got those as well. And then again, inside the bowl. This one looked just like this before, so. And here's the brand new one. I'm assuming that's a brand new part. I think this actually looks a little shinier, we'll see. About the same. I think this one looks nicer though, still. This one's a little dingier, darker. If you will, this one is very close to brand new look though. If that's what you're going for a brand new look, this is it. I'm gonna put this back here so they don't get mixed up. But all right, 2 more to go. All right, so here we have them all finished. Inside now, they all match. Good looking carbs. Cleaned inside as well. And now we're on to the next. I guess we'll get started with this guy. Start sealing it up. Maybe I'll tape off this label. And I'll check back in. Okay, so here's the package of the nuts and bolts that we have. They are plated. I forget what type this is called, but this greenish coating is actually hard to get again. So I actually only lightly blast these just to clean them up. I don't want to strip any additional coating off. It will strip off, like, you know, the color of the coating, but the plating that's underneath, it does not strip it if you just lightly blast it and don't spend too much time. But what it will do is actually clean this rust off, clean the dirt and rust off, and they'll just look a whole lot better. It does get rid of the green. I think it's like something olive drab or something it's called. But there is another coating underneath that, probably zinc, and it doesn't really strip that right away. So we'll get these cleaned up. These I'll probably do by hand, and then these I'll put in this mesh basket. So I'll hold this with one hand and sort of flip and tumble them around, and that's the way you get these done a lot quicker rather than do every piece by hand. All right, so here we have the one case. I just pulled it out. It's been about an hour. This is so hot that you really need 2 layers of gloves to even touch this brush that we have here. There's actually a part to the washer here. But yeah, you can see it's still not loose enough to come off. Probably needs at least another hour to loosen this stuff up. You can see it's starting to come off over here. But these will maybe even get to another day. Or just give it a couple of hours. But yeah, try to brush this off. You can see it gets clean on the inside where the oil was. That's all loose, easy stuff. The bearing over here. And we'll stay so. This is good to clean all the old oil out of here. All the dirt that's coming out. This was a fresh, clean tank before this went in here. Yeah, it just doesn't. It's an hour. Still needs more time. I mean, maybe not. Maybe this is just how stained it is. We'll see. But either way, just got to get all the loose oil off. This is. We got this oil here. This is probably loose enough to come out. Yeah, you can see this comes out now. Gotta get all that oil out before it goes in the tank, so trying to do this one hand. Give them both a quick brush, both sides, and put them back in for another hour. Check back in. Okay, so these cases are all pretty much fully blasted. I'm just gonna go ahead and start cleaning all these bearings out. I'm not sure if these are gonna be replaced or not. Most likely every bearing is replaced, but sometimes you just can't get them out or you can't find a replacement. So I always just clean these bearings out as if they were gonna be used again. Have used reused bearings that were vapor blasted in the past, never an issue, as long as you clean them out like this. I go twice over, high pressure water, get them to spin free, blow it out with 120 PSI of air until they're spinning free like this. And then I do the whole process twice over. So back with the water and then back dry again. And you can see these are spinning just fine. Better than they were, spinning way better than they were when they came in, especially with that contaminated oil with those metal shavings probably all in there. Next, I spray every single thread hole. You can see all the water and moisture coming out. This will blow out all the media. So I do this, I blow it all out till all the water comes out. Then once the cases are fully dry, I go ahead and blow all the thread holes again, just so your bolts go in with no issues. All right, so here we have the 400EX all done. Looks real good. I just did the, the gasket surfaces. I don't always, do that, but we got this, came off pretty easy with just a polisher. I only do the polish machine on any gasket surfaces. But yeah, another real nice job. So this thing is ready to be reassembled. Got all the contaminants out of the center cases. And it's real nice looking. I forgot I also have this other CRF 100, XR 100 head. I guess I'll just blast this today real quick as well. A little dirty. Probably should have went in the degreaser, but I think I'm gonna be cleaning my tank out soon anyway. I'll just put this in the rough cleaner and then into the polisher. Yeah, so these are both Hondas. This is basically what this thing looked like before. And just side by side. All right, thanks for watching. I'll get this done. I'll show you how this came out.